The question that's asked most of young people today is this: what do you want to do? In my final years of high school, I was asked this question more and more. Adam, what do you want to do? In order to answer this question, I put my hand up for my school's first ever social justice immersion tour to a country called Timor-Leste. It surprised me that it only took me 2 hours to fly from an airport in Australia to visit and be greeted by one of the most inspiring yet remote communities in the world. Now imagine that you stand in a classroom like this, safe, air-conditioned, on any given Wednesday. By Thursday morning, you enter what should be a decommissioned toilet block, only 2 by 2 meters in length. And there stands one teacher and 15 children learning the alphabet. A, we were inspired by their determination. B, for many of us, this was the first time we witnessed the stark disparity in living, education, and poverty. And C, these experiences were not unique to our group. Many young privileged children and students around the world embark on social justice initiatives every day. Even more common is our willingness to help and want to do something. When we arrived back into Australia only 2 hours, we wanted to immediately create change, but we couldn't find ways to help. It seemed impossible for us. It was very easy to rationalise that, Adam, you're only 16 years old. Leave it to people with experience. Just focus on your high school, focus on picking a university degree, and then maybe come back to it. And that's what we did. I was no exception. So I answered the question, Adam, what do you want to do? In the loosest possible terms. And I said, becoming an entrepreneur, whatever that meant. So here I am. But I realised that we were being asked the wrong question. If only someone had asked me, Adam, what problem do you want to solve? I would have told them this: 70,210. That's the number of children in Timor-Leste that do not receive a preschool education. That's 5% of their total population. The ones lucky enough to be learning in a decommissioned toilet block this size have been excluded from this number. Globally, half of preschool-age children around the world do not access this basic human right and start to life. My passion for solving this problem was reignited in the final months of my year 12. My best friend and immersion partner, Alexi, and I jokingly discussed that instead of taking a 10-hour drive to our end-of-year schoolies celebration event, that we would walk. And we would do it for a purpose, to raise awareness and funds for the lack of education in Timor-Leste and to start to solve that problem. But from the moment we announced the idea, many people said, Adam, creating your own path at such an age is not possible. But we set off on the journey and we took a leap of faith. We walked for 33 kilometres a day over 21 days, totaling 800 kilometres, across beaches in 40-degree heat and through mountains. In the end, we raised $20,000, and best of all, we saved some money on fuel. Then, with the $20,000, we decided that we would try and find an organisation, a philanthropist or alike to donate the money to. But as young people, nothing spoke to us, nothing inspired us. That's how our charity, Educating the Future, was born in early 2016. So every Tuesday at 6 p.m, Alexi and I and whoever was welcome, a group of like-minded young people, got together. Sometimes for minutes, sometimes for hours. Our ideas were endless, our passion was limitless. But from the very start, again, we faced some mounting challenges as young people trying to create change in this world. The sentiment usually followed, how would these boys pull it off? They know nothing about government, about education, learning, the curriculum, teacher training. In a way, they were right, especially with my favorite, Adam, you probably can't even lift a brick. We, as young people, do not inherit organizational assets. We don't have decision-making power or authority to create change. I remember a presentation I gave about our idea, community-built, government-run preschools. And we had a question and answer. The first question a professional opened with, Adam, you are too young to create change. I was stunned. I felt as if perhaps I should wait, I should build my experience first, follow the traditional path, and wait until the ripe old age of 100 to create change. But we didn't. And we built our first school 6 months after that. We had delivered on our promise. We as young people should not and cannot wait for change to happen. Our society is at a critical turning point. The issues we face are rising. The climate is warming, gender inequality, food insecurity, water sanitation, a lack of education. We have made good progress towards these goals, but there is one thing that's missing from our organizations, from our structures, from our institutions. That's the voice of young people. We are the biggest underutilized talent pool today, and there is some room to go. Through working with Educating the Future, I realized that we have superpowers as young people. The first is that our ambition is unparalleled. We were ambitious enough to take a 21-day walk, to build a school, and I've seen countless other individuals and young people do just that. But not only are we ambitious, we are learners. We come from a place of learning, and we seek to match that with knowledge. At Educating the Future, we call that merging exuberance, your ambition, with experience, the knowledge. We sought out stories of failure where NGOs had built classrooms that were used as factories, and of success where NGOs had actually mobilized communities at a national scale to build playgrounds for every child. With those, importantly, our aim for social justice is leveled in privilege. We may not fully comprehend at such an early age what our true privilege is, but we know that we can use our resources for good. For me, my privilege became clear standing in the decommissioned toilet block on the first day of travelling to Timor-Leste. Importantly, our superpower. Our superpower is our ability to come together as young people under the guise of social impact and creating change. We have young people working from the most remote parts of Australia with Timorese communities and youth to actually create change and lifelong outcomes for children. This is part of our goal and our endeavour. With the why, we should be creating change and how young people do that. What needs to change is our structures and our institutions need to empower us. They do not need to hinder us and tell us that we're too young to create change. We can create innovation and breathe new life into ideas. In 2021, Australia saw one of its most recent, largest campaigns for change. Teach Us Consent. Through the actions of young people came together to collect 45,000 petition signatures and over 6,500 testimonies in order to mandate holistic and age-appropriate consent education. This was a decades-long struggle that was broken through the power of young people and voices coming together. Where we do not have assets, decision-making power or authority, we do have each other and we speak the same language of social impact. Here, passion met purpose. Here, young people broke down the barriers to create change. And through the actions of young people, consent education is now mandated for all Australian students in the curriculum. In the same year, Educating the Future finished our second and third preschools. Today, our ambition is unparalleled. We want to ensure that every child in Timor-Leste, from the 70,210 and the ones learning in this decommissioned toilet block, get access to a safe and a high-quality education. I'm very optimistic about the future. I'm optimistic that we can achieve this target when people say, Adam, it's not possible. You're too young to create and envision this change. But I see a world in which young people are change makers, campaign builders. They lead movements and they start charities. That's my zeitgeist. But in order to do that, we need to redefine what it means to be young in this world. For me, to be young is to create change. So today, I pose the question, what problem do you want to solve? Thank you.